Hello, I am Aisha Birney and this is a 360 Weekly Review. This week in international news, NASA confirms the existence of flowing liquid water on the surface of Mars, suggesting now more than ever of the possibility of life on the red planet. The lead scientist for the Mars exploration program, Michael Meyer, explained on Monday that mysterious dark streaks on the red planet's surface were being observed over the past several years at NASA headquarters. Using a device called an imaging spectrometer, scientists detect hydrated minerals along the path of observable streaks, leading to a growing evidence of salt water on Mars. The streaks appear to darken and flow in warmer seasons and fade away in cooler seasons annually. The streaks are said to appear in several locations on the planet's surface. Meyer claims that the only way to fully confirm the existence of life on Mars is to bring back a sample of the hydrated salts, a proposition that has been received adamantly by non-profit organizations that wish to send people to Mars within the next few decades.
Announced today is that Mars is not the dry, arid planet that we thought of in the past. Today we're going to announce that under certain circumstances, liquid water has been found on Mars.
On Monday, the President of the United States gave what seems to be his penultimate speech at the UN. After reviewing the accomplishments of the United Nations over the past 7 decades, Obama led the Assembly's attention to some of the most pressing global issues of today, arguing that the view of retrieving order through the imposition of force is not the solution.
In accordance with this logic, we should support tyrants like Bashar al-Assad, who drops barrel bombs to massacre innocent children, because the alternative is surely worse.
Centering his speech on the encouragement of cooperation over coercion, Obama provided several examples of successes and failures, including the country's own, in times of cooperation and coercion respectively. Acknowledging the need for military force in the face of a threat to a people's security, he argued still that simultaneous efforts for peaceful living are necessary. In his concerns of the violation of such an ideology, the president laid special emphasis on Russia's violent dealings with Ukraine, claiming that had Russia, and I quote, engaged in true diplomacy, it would not only be better for the two countries, but also better for the world.
Imagine if instead Russia had engaged in true diplomacy and worked with Ukraine and the international community to ensure its interests were protected. That would be better for Ukraine, but also better for Russia, and better for the world.
He concluded the speech with the reinforcement of the UN ideal of countries working peacefully together to restore and uphold certain universal principles and ideas, leading to a brighter future for coming generations, just as the pioneers of the UN did for the current one. Coming up, news from the region with Lina Califato.
Thank you, Aisha. This week in the MENA region, the biggest news in the region comes from Saudi Arabia, where the annual Hajj pilgrimage was performed last week. A stampede broke out in the MENA area of the country on Thursday the 24th of September, leading to the passing of almost 1,000 pilgrims and leaving over 1,000 more seriously injured. The cause of this incident is being investigated and remains undisclosed.
حصل ازدحام والعالم بقت توقع فوق بعضها كتير من شياب لأطفال لحريم لبنات لرجاله لشباب.
سوء تنظيم برضه ممكن، لان كان كل اكتر الحجاج جايين في شارع واحد.
كان تحت مني ناس ميتين وفوق مني ناس ميتين.
In what seems to be a highly unfortunate series of events, the stampede was not a standalone tragedy for the families and friends of pilgrims this year. The event was preceded by a construction crane collapsing on the Holy Mosque on September 11th, leaving 111 deceased and severely injured. In addition to this, the 2 fire incidents are reported to have occurred in the hotels in the Azizia neighborhood of Mecca over the course of Hajj period. To make matters worse, temperatures sweltered in the final days of the pilgrimage, breaking a record of the last 2 decades. Despite efforts in the provision of cold water to pilgrims, several cases of unconsciousness, fatigue, and heat stroke have been reported. In other news, Saudi airstrikes hit Yemen wedding party, killing 28 people. With Saudi Arabia's ongoing coalition against the Houthi rebels of Yemen, a happy gathering was mistakenly struck on Monday in Al-Wahqa, a small village near the Strait of Bab al-Mandab. The tragedy resulted in the death of 28 people and injuries of dozens, most of which were children and women. Dry spell on the world's longest slide. Excited individuals last Friday made their way down to the Dubai Autodrome in Motor City to beat the heat at Dubai City Slide. However, sweltering temperatures coupled with poor water pressures had rendered the slide increasingly dry, resulting not only in making the activity slightly tiresome and unbearable, but also a refund of 176 dirhams from the company to its customers.
When I found out in Facebook that they're gonna do it here in Dubai, I grabbed my roommate and I was like, I'm gonna book the ticket, you cannot say no. So now that we are here, it's kind of disappointing because the water pressure is not that much. So that's it, but what we have to do is just to enjoy it.
A man dies in dispute over pictures in Dubai. An Emirati student is reported to have assaulted an Indian man in a cafe at the one and only Royal Mirage. Ending in a brain hemorrhage, the commotion started when an Indian man was presumably taking pictures of his friend in the cafe. Assuming he was being photographed, the student is reported to have punched the man twice, making him unconscious. The next hearing to decide the fate of the Emirati student will take place on the 25th of October. That's all we have on the bulletin for the region. Over to you, Hadil.
Good morning, I am Hadil Dahlan, and this is the latest from University City. The University Hospital in Sharjah inaugurates its new hearing aid clinic. It is reported to have screened 1,000 newborns for hearing problems since the inauguration. The hospital has also managed to provide a timely treatment for 16 of these infants. In other news, the American University of Sharjah is amongst the 2 UAE universities to be listed by Times Higher Education as one of the top 800 worldwide. The UAE is one of 29 countries that have debuted this year on the Times Higher Education University rankings. More from AUS. The university held its fall 2015 club fair on Tuesday and Wednesday of this past week. Welcoming students both new and old, the Student Center at AUS has been exceptionally busy this past week. 360 got the opportunity to visit the club fair and receive the opinions and experiences of some students. Let's have a look.
So, what's your name?
My name is Mohamed Ismail.
And how long have you been in AUS?
4 years.
What do you think of the club fair?
I think it's nice opportunity to student to come and join the clubs and to know more about other cultures like Arabic cultures, maybe foreign cultures.
Hello guys, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
What are your names?
My name is Gia.
My name is Lexian.
Alright, I wanted to ask you, how many people have registered in your club?
I think maybe around 200 people.
Okay, and please tell us more about your food.
We have prepared some spicy fish, and we have sweet and sour chicken, and some specific Chinese bread.
And of course, these are the traditional foods of your region.
Yeah, right.
Alright, thank you so much. And finally, a look at what's new in sports and entertainment. David Beckham's new upcoming movie. The sports personality is reported to have been spending time with actor Kevin Hart, who will play his role in the movie. Despite Beckham's appearance in an H&M ad with Kevin Hart recently, he insists he is not willing to branch his career into acting. He quotes, "It was a bit of fun and I enjoyed it," said Beckham to interviewers.
Say that again?
He wants to play you in I, Beckham the movie.
He wants to play me? Are you serious?
Yeah, and he wants to stay with you to kind of get into the role, get into the character. Research is what they're calling it.
Whoa! Is that my toothbrush?
I'm watching you.
Rick, you can't do this to me. How is this even possible? How long are you staying?
I mean, until we get it right.
Till we get what right?
Till we get what right?
We need to talk. Seriously, a week in my house?
Chris Brown's visa application to Australia confronted with obstacles in the face of his 2009 conviction assaulting his then-girlfriend. Although presently raising awareness against domestic and spousal abuse himself, Brown still faces difficulties in visiting countries such as Australia on the basis of his crime of the past. The awareness campaign still continues today as people fight with or against Chris Brown on different levels. Paul Walker's daughter, Meadow, sues Porsche almost 2 years after her father's tragic death. The teen claims her late father was killed due to design flaws in the car he was in. Lawyers believe and claim that the Fast and Furious star did in fact survive his car crash but was trapped in the vehicle while suffering from serious injuries. According to the lawsuit, after the car crashed, the seatbelt snapped Walker's torso back with thousands of pounds of force, thereby breaking his ribs and pelvis. This is Adil Dahlan, 360 News.